My name is Brock Ashby and I'm an online personal trainer that has somewhat built a following by sniffing out BS and nonsense and being a tell it how it is personal trainer that people vibe with. And I've trained some celebrities and I've also been pretty disappointed in the standard of training, fitness, nutrition in the world of celebrities. Dancers, entertainers, comedians, actors. And I really want to see if things have changed. So comedian Matt Rife has voluntarily put his hand up to be the first guest of this show, which is yet to be named. So please comment below if you have a good name for the segment and show us what his workouts are like. Let's get into it.
You want to lift with your lower back and your lower back only in a fast, jerky motion. Got people
Family Guy reference. Good start. Pretty handsome dude.
who are like actual trainers are going to tear me apart.
Will we? I guess we'll find out.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Matt Rife, and today I'm going to show you how I work out.
Kinda looks like a dude that would be in a boy band. And that's coming from someone that was in a boy band.
I really got into fitness about, I'd say 5 years ago. I've always been a naturally very skinny kid. Like, I've always had a hard time putting on weight or maintaining it.
Me too.
I realized how much of a release it is for your mental health more than even just your physical. Get that stress off of you, get the endorphins going a little bit, wake your body and your mind up a little bit. So it became pretty quickly addicting. And then after you start to see the physical results, it becomes even more addicting. You go, wow, how hard can I really push this thing?
Completely agree with this. And this takes me back to the cycle of motivation. And that is, it begins with action, you get results, and then from those results, you get motivation. And then that motivation leads into taking action, results, motivation. Action, results, motivation. I got stuck in it, sounds like he got stuck in it. And I think this is the best way to actually get into training. And this is falling in love with action. Because if you just fall in love with the other two things, like I just want results, that's not going to last too long. Or I'm just going to train when I'm motivated. That's only going to last when you're motivated. But if you go, I'm going to take action no matter what, then that is a great place to start, because that's how things happen. You take action, you go to the gym, you eat well, you sleep well, etc., etc. Take action.
An ideal week of training, I would say Monday we start with a push day. We do chest and tris. Tuesday, pull day, back and biceps. Wednesday, shoulders. Thursday, legs. If I can squeeze it in, I really love to box on Fridays. I'd love to box Harry Styles.
Seems like he's following a bit of a bro split. One thing I would critique straight off the bat is following a bro split typically isn't the best, because you're only hitting muscle groups once. He's hitting chest and tris with push day, back and bis on pull day, legs, and then shoulders, and then boxing. And hitting your muscle groups once per week is better than hitting them 0 times per week and not training at all. But if you're looking for optimizing your results, you probably want to train your muscle groups at least twice per week. That's going to allow you to get more training volume in. So since he's only training 4 weight days and then doing a boxing session, which you could say is a cardio session, what I'd rather do instead of doing this bro split approach is actually doing 4 full body days. Full body push, full body pull, full body push, and full body pull. But let's see what the workouts look like.
Today I'm going to show you one of my favorite workouts from each one of my ideal structured days, from push days, pull days, shoulders, abs, cardio, legs. Starting with push day, we're going to go chest focused. I like a good incline chest. Building a chest is so important to just the overall structure of your physique. You want to have the chest of a grown man and not a 12-year-old girl.
I agree. I think as a dude, having a solid chest is pretty good for aesthetic reasons. I will critique the alternating incline press. I don't get the whole alternating bit, because as one arm is working, one arm is just isometrically holding, and in that time that your arm is just isometrically holding, not really doing anything, there's no real tension on the muscle. It's just kind of like bringing your energy level down. Like if you were playing Tekken, your health bar would just slowly be going down, but you're not actually doing anything, and your forearms are going to get sore. So instead of alternating, what I'd rather you do is just do the basics, just bring them down. Or if you are going to alternate, keep one down the bottom, because down the bottom is where you're getting the stretch in the chest, and that's where most of the hypertrophy occurs in this exercise. So if you are going to alternate, keep them down, Start at the bottom, push one up, bring them back down. Push one up, bring them back down. That's going to give you more time and attention and more potential hypertrophy for this exercise if you are going to alternate. But we want to apply progressive overload. So I would rather just you do standard reps because that's going to allow you to lift more than get time and attention just by holding the weights down below.
Nothing wrong with being a man with some strong yiddies.
Another thing I'll say is if you are going to do dumbbells, I'd rather you do a neutral grip than a pronated grip. Because we do pronated grips when we're using barbells. With the barbell bench press, your hands have to be pronated. Supinated, stupid. So if you are going to do dumbbells, keep them neutral. It's usually better and easier on your shoulders, and it also gives you variation.
So moving over to a pull day, your back is essential. You want to create a nice formidable V physique, just a pencil, bit
Pretty solid form.
of visible physicality to you. And wide grip, I feel like I get a lot more lat engagement. Some people want to go all the way to just having a super massive gorilla tone.
I'm gonna have to disagree there. I feel like for me personally, and for most people that I've trained, if you go too wide, it begins to feel a bit awkward on your shoulder because you're kind of like not really pulling down, you're kind of like pulling in. I like to go just outside shoulder width and then think of driving my elbows down. That generally feels better for my shoulders and for my lats. But it feels good for him. What the hell?
Back, I just want a back strong enough that if I go to prison, it's not easily getting blown out. You know what I mean?
He's doing 3 sets of 8 to 10 reps. If that is too easy for you, then start adding weight. That's how you really start applying progressive overload and building your back up.
Up next, we have arms. Obviously, the most essential workout to every man going to the gym. You got to have some 28-inch pythons on you if you can get them. I'm working with some
Decent set of arms for a comedian.
garter snakes right now, but you take what you can get, okay? I try to work arms 2 to 3 times a week at least. It's one of those muscles that you have to destroy it to get any kind of growth whatsoever. I do abs every single day. I do a 10 to 15 minute.
Don't massively agree with having to smash your arms every single workout to see growth. We know that by the research that training close to failure is pretty much the same as training to failure for hypertrophy and for getting stronger. Actually, for getting stronger, training close to failure is generally better. And also, if you're taking your muscles way too far to failure and just smashing them all the time, you're probably going to impact your ability to recover and decrease the frequency that you can train throughout the week. But although he's following a bro split, so he can smash them because he's only training them once per week. So I would actually encourage him to do what he's doing. And if you are going to only do one workout for that muscle group per week, obliterate them, go ahead. But if you're doing my approach, full body push, full body pull, I'd be training close to failure because you're going to train that muscle again.
Routine, just a little circuit of a bunch of different exercises, a couple of them right now that work the obliques, work the center right here, build lower abs and top.
Russian twist isn't my favorite ab exercise. Usually people just get cramp in their hip flexors, and the heavier the ball doesn't really, and they end up rotating with their hands as opposed to their core. Not my favorite. Weighted plank, also not my favorite. All you're doing is isometrically contracting your abs. There are 3 different portions to a rep. We have the concentric rep, which is the lifting of the weight. We have the isometric, which is the pause at the top or at the bottom of the rep. And then we have the eccentric, which is the lowering. And the isometric for hypertrophy or building your abs is the least effective. So for the weighted plank, I wouldn't really do it.
Play where you have to be dedicated to the amount of time you use to work out, getting enough sleep, the foods you eat, what you're putting
Plank
into your
mountain
body,
climbers.
Massive parties. There's so many different factors.
Not a
in
fan.
play that you really have to.
3 pretty average ab exercises. How do you apply progressive overload to this plank mountain climber? You do more reps, but you do 100, 200 reps, your abs aren't going to be that sore.
Make sure you're disciplined enough to stay on track for. And for legs, my most hated workout in history.
I also think he mentioned that he trained abs every day. That is not what you do. You don't train your abs every day. Your abs need rest like any other muscle group. If you're training them every day, you're either not recovering or you're not training hard enough, or I think in Matt's case, not using effective exercises. So what I'd recommend, use some solid exercises like a kneeling cable crunch, where you can really apply progressive overload. You can use heavier weights, or do a hanging gar hammer raise, where you're taking out momentum. You're just hanging and your knees start from your waist height and then they just curl up. That is crunching. That's using your abs in an effective way to build your abs or to build muscle.
History, just a single leg, propped up split squat with dumbbells in each hand.
It's called a Bulgarian split squat.
And they're gonna burn like crazy. But if you enjoy boxing like myself, it's a stance you have to get used to. You have to get used to putting weight and shifting it onto each individual leg to be able to move around. So
I'd have to disagree. I'm not a boxing coach, but I don't think Bulgarian split squats are gonna have much of a carryover. With sport-specific training, you want to do specific exercises. So if you want to get better at that stance, I'd recommend just boxing. I don't think Bulgarian split squats are really going to help. Look, they are going to give you stronger legs. They are going to get you more jacked. But in terms of boxing, I don't think these guys are really making you better at boxing. You're not really in this bent down position in boxing. And if you are, you're probably getting knocked out.
It's one I try to incorporate to every leg day. So we'll give that our best shot.
But solid exercise. You can make it more quad dominant by bringing your foot closer to the bench where your knees are going to be over your toes, or you can make it more hip dominant by putting your feet further out and you're going to get more of a 90-degree angle at the knee joint. That's going to be slightly more hip dominant, so really solid option.
All right, guys, that's it for me. I've been Matt Rife. Thank you for taking an inside look at my workout routine. I wish you the best of luck. Get in the gym. Just move around for 20, 30 minutes a day. Get your endorphins going. Get your blood pumping. You'll be a much healthier, happier person. I promise you. Send me the results. Let's see.
Where am I sending the results? Have you got an email? Have you got a phone number? Let's wrap this video up here. Not the worst thing that I've seen in Hollywood. I think that he trains pretty well. He's got a decent physique. He's choosing some pretty good exercises for his chest, for his arms, for his back. I think his core training's definitely lacking. I think training them every day is overdoing it. He's doing pretty shitty exercises for his abs. He's doing cardio, which is cool because he enjoys it. I think that's the best part of this whole thing, is like you can see that he really enjoys it. And most comedians live a pretty crazy lifestyle. They're around a lot of alcohol, they're around some drugs. I've listened to Joe Rogan podcast a few times. They do have this pretty crazy lifestyle, like sleep is a big question mark. And I think that he's in a great place and he's enjoying it. I would change the way he works out though. Training muscle groups once per week generally isn't enough. And if you wanted to optimize his training, I'd put him into full body training. And if you want to see how I train, this is my most recent workout video. Right here.